The inspiration for starting a home for pregnant teenage girls came from their day-to-day work in the field of obstetrics. And a story in the Bible led them to the name. Tamar's House for Teen Moms offers a safe haven for young women. Joining us to talk about their programs is Reverend Tracy Victor-Butler. Welcome to On Time, Reverend Butler. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing good.
Can you refresh our memories for us? What story is this in the Bible?
This is a story of King David's daughter, Tamar, who was raped by her brother, and her other brother took her into his home, and the Bible says where she remained a desolate woman. But Tamar's House for Teen Moms, instead of being desolate, we planned that these young girls that come into our home will become to learn their destiny.
Yeah, I have to say, and I know you would agree with this in the experiences you've seen, that story is incredibly relevant today. That kind of thing, unfortunately and sadly, still exists. The Bible is very much connected, and other books as well, whether it's the Quran or the Torah, still connected to what we do in life today, are they not?
Every day. Every day we read it, we see it, and we live it.
Yeah. How does it work? How does the program work? How do you find the young women, or do they find you?
Actually, we hope that they will find us, but what we do now, we have hooked up with some of the departments of juvenile services, and because we do not have a house located yet, we don't have a home where they come to, we actually take our services to whoever needs us. We do parenting classes, we do spiritual counseling, we do whatever is needed. If we need to go to the hospital with them to deliver, parenting classes, childbirth education classes, whatever it is that we need, that they need, we're able to do it.
Where are you in terms of how you think teen pregnancy is viewed in America today? Particularly, let's focus on Baltimore and the African-American community, because oftentimes it seems like whether it's a young person, a young male going to prison and coming out as if that's a rite of passage. For some, it seems like having a child is a rite of passage, despite the fact that young people oftentimes aren't able even to take care of themselves, let alone a child.
And Kai, that is absolutely correct. We see it every day, and it just seems like over and over, no matter how much you tell them, how much you counsel them, how much you put in their way, it still is about the sex. And what at the end of sex is a pregnancy. And our plan is to actually educate them before they get to that point. But when they don't, that's where Tamar's House comes into play. Right. Because when they're pregnant, it is our belief that if we can change the mind of a teen while she's pregnant, we can change generations to come.
What programs and services do you provide, Reverend Butler?
Discipleship classes, parenting classes, GED program. We will have counseling sessions. Everything that is needed to transform a life, we will be able to provide it.
And I'm listening to you, and it sounds like what you're trying to do is you have to deal with the reality of the young person who's going to have a child. Now let's stop them from getting into a cycle of poverty and not being able to get ahead in life. Is that correct?
That's correct. And education is the main important thing, because if they stop at the age of 15 with education and having a baby, 9 times out of 10, they will not be able to encourage their child to go on to have an education.
Are you simply focusing on the young women, or do you try in any instance to get the young women and the young males who might be the fathers of the children to connect so that they are raising the child together?
Actually, with parenting classes, we invite the young men to participate, because that is, parenting is both mother and father.
Right. Who's eligible for the program, Reverend Butler?
Anyone who is pregnant and in need between the ages of 12 and 19.
Right. And so far, are you able to, I don't know, do you have a yardstick by which you can measure your success? How long, in other words, how long have you been in existence, and how are you able to measure what you do?
We have been in existence by name for 4 years.
Okay.
This is actually our first year that we have actually instituted our classes, but this is our 3rd year where we're having our, it's a fundraiser that we have.
And let's talk about that fundraiser. What's going to happen and when?
On April the 24th is our Tamar's House for Teen Moms is having its 3rd annual Night of the Arts. It's a night with singing, dancing, drama, spoken word, and it's actually a fundraiser to help us to cut the costs of the classes, the educational material, traveling expenses, and the gifts that we give to our parents. But it's at the Walters Art Museum, and again, it's on April the 24th at 6 p.m.
Before we close out, once the young women have their children, do you want them to keep them? Do you encourage them to put them up for adoption? How does that work?
Actually, with parenting classes, everything is given to them.
Okay. It's their option.
It's their option. We go through all the options, but we do believe that a baby is a gift from God, is our belief.
Reverend Tracy Victor-Butler, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate that, and thank you for your time. You can support Tamar's House for teen moms by coming to their event April 24th at the Walters Art Museum. For tickets, call 443-413-5841. And for information on their program, go to tamarshouse.webs.com.